Okay, military fat loss secret number one. And by the way, everybody, I use a lot of military analogies, but I'm going to try and keep the jargon down as much as possible, and I'll try and keep it basic so everybody understands. But what I found was that there are a lot of great analogies between how we conducted combat, so to speak, and how you lose body fat. And I use those a lot because, to me, it is kind of, I consider burning off body fat kind of like a war. It's a battle you're waging against the body fat on your body. So I kind of kick around these terms a lot. But anyway, military fat loss secret number one is focus on the big guns first. Okay, so here's the first military analogy. In the military, any major battle that you have, and a lot of people, even if you've just watched it on CNN, the combat that's happened, or as we've entered into wars or whatever, this is military doctrine. You always start out with your largest weaponry first. So that may mean an airstrike, or it may mean artillery, which are cannons, or it might be missiles from locally stationed battleships. But the intent is to do as much damage as possible with the least amount of effort. So you basically just blanket the entire objective area with as much explosion as possibly can, just to try and obliterate that area before you send in the foot soldiers and the tanks and everybody else. Because after the point where you've just loaded a bunch of ammunition onto an area, now when you bring in the soldiers, it's pretty much all downhill from there, at least in theory. Well, here's how this applies to you. Because you have in your possession right now, every single one of you listening to this, the most advanced fat-burning weapon known to man. And it's not a pill. It's not some miracle diet. It's your body's muscle. I mean, your muscle is kind of like the nuclear warhead of fat-burning strategies, because your muscle is your fat-burning engine. So let me say to the women out there, don't tune me out just yet, just because I'm using the word muscle, because I am talking to you as well. I'm not saying to any of you that you need to be some genetic freak or looks like some pro bodybuilder juiced up on steroids to burn body fat. But the fact is that your body is designed from the dawn of time to use your body's muscle as a fat-burning engine. So it uses fat to fuel the maintenance of your muscle and the repair of your muscle and the building of your muscle. And this has been since you were first brought onto the face of the planet until way, way back when. This is how we were designed. But here's the important part. Because since your body is geared up to use muscle to burn body fat, all of this happens with no extra effort. This is outside of that half hour or hour that you put into the gym. Now here's how it works. It takes more energy in the form of calories. And most people are familiar with burning, when you think about burning off body fat, you want to burn off calories. It takes more energy for your body in the form of calories for it to maintain that muscle tissue than it does body fat. And I've seen different numbers thrown out there for how many calories that muscle actually burns, but I like to use a conservative estimate. The number that I use is muscle burns about 14 calories per pound of muscle per day when you're at rest, okay? But fat only burns about 4 calories for every pound of fat that you have. So 14 calories for every pound of muscle per day, and for body fat, 4 calories per every pound of muscle. Now think about those two numbers, because what that means is that you have 300%, over 300%, more calories burned for every pound of muscle that you add on your body in place of body fat. In place of body fat. And this is even when your body is at rest. Okay? Even at rest. So this is the first thing to understand, is that you want to focus on your body's muscle, because this is what's going to allow you to burn calories all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right now, while you're listening to me, you're sitting down at your computer. You are burning body fat right now. It's your body's primary source of fuel during low-intensity activity, which is what you're doing right now. It's the same thing you're doing when you're at work. It's the same thing you're doing when you're sleeping. You literally can burn body fat 24 hours a day, and it's your body's muscle that's going to give you the most bang for that buck. Okay?